Hi, it's great to be with you this morning to talk to you about renewed by forgiveness. And now this subject is something that I just love, the subject of forgiveness. It's a huge topic, but it's one that is so important and crucial to our daily walk with God, to live a life that's full of joy and peace. And without bitterness or rage, we need to understand what forgiveness truly is. And we know it's an important part because in the Lord's Prayer, Jesus says, that we ask God to forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And now we can sometimes think it's just those big things when people really do bad things against us and deliberately hurt us or those sorts of things. And that is true, that is what we need to forgive. But on a day-to-day basis, that isn't the experience of most of us. It's just, we're just living our lives, going about, and things happen to us. And I just wanted to talk to you about how that affects me and how that looks like in my daily walk, because I know now that if I let any ounce of just annoyance or irritation or anger just fester inside me, it will steal my peace and my joy. And I now know I don't want anything to take away my peace and my joy, and I don't want anything to get in the way of my relationship with God and with others. So whenever I feel it creeping in, I choose to forgive. And this might sound really trivial, and in some ways it is. It's not a massive thing, but it is a really liberating thing. And so just to give a silly little example of how this might work out on a day-to-day basis. So yesterday I went shopping to Aldi, as I usually do, and they changed the whole store around. I couldn't find anything, and it was really annoying. And now you might think, well, that's just an annoyance, it's just an irritation of life, and that's fine. But it might sound really stupid, but I chose to forgive Aldi for being annoying and irritating, because I just don't want anything in my life. And as I say, that's really trivial. And again, we had to buy a new washing machine last week because I was almost blown up, and it came on Monday, and it works really well, apart from there's one really irritating fact to it, and there's water's collecting in the seal. So again, it's like a decision that you make. You could get really annoyed about it and frustrated about the lack of good quality in the world and all those sorts of things. And or you can say, right, I'm just going to forgive the people that made it, and it's fine, and I'll just phone them up and have a chat about it. So that's what I did today. If I'd phoned up all angry and cross about it, I might not have been very nice to that person on the other end of the line. But because I'd forgiven it all and just trusted God to deal with it, it all worked out okay. And I know these all sound really trivial, don't they? But even moving that on, we're going away soon. Well, hopefully going away, I don't know, with COVID. And I remember thinking the other day, I started to get really annoyed about the fact that when we're in this self-catering cottage, that because of COVID, we're going to have to leave earlier than we normally do. And I hate leaving after we've been away on holiday early in the morning. I like to just relax in the morning. But we're having to leave an hour earlier. And not only that, but we're going to have to strip all the sheets and bedding and towels and put them all in bags and leave them by the front door. And so I was having a good chunter about that too. So again, I just had to, and then I sort of came up short and thought, and I was getting all agitated, and this was just before bedtime, and I thought, no, I'm not going to let this fester at bedtime. So I thought, right, I'm going to forgive COVID. And I think that is a really valid point at the moment. COVID-19 has done a lot of harm, we know that. And we can harbour all this bitterness and resentment that just festers, and every time something else comes in, we just add on to that. And we might not realise that by now we're carrying around all this sort of anxiety and bitterness and frustration towards this situation which we are completely helpless in a way. And by choosing to forgive it, which sounds really odd, I know, but it really works, we just let go of all our expectations of life and let God deal with it. Now, I could go into that, there's loads about forgiveness, we know, but just want to encourage you daily just to recognise when we have negative emotions or frustrations or anger. Do we need to forgive? Do we need to just let that go? Because ultimately we want to be people that live a life of love and pass out the love of God to people around us. We don't want to be people that are exuding all this anxiety and bitterness and frustration about the way the world is. I don't think we should be surprised how difficult the world is when we read our Bibles, really. So I just want to encourage you today to make every effort, whatever it is, to just keep a forgiving heart, keep forgiving, forgive people, forgive situations, forgive objects, just keep forgiving, having that forgiving heart, and you will experience peace and joy, and the enemy will not be able to come in and take away that. So I'd just like to encourage you today with that. Thank you.